What if I told you that one man's mind lit up the world literally? Welcome to our channel, where we explore the stories of legendary visionaries who changed the course of history. Today, we dive deep into the electrifying life of Nikola Tesla, the forgotten genius who gave us the blueprint for the future. From wireless power to robots, his ideas were decades ahead of their time. If you're fascinated by innovation, mystery, and mind-blowing science, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a journey into genius. Nikola Tesla, born at the stroke of midnight on July 10, 1856, in the small village of Smiljan in the Austrian Empire, modern-day Croatia, was a child of remarkable intellect and boundless imagination. His father, Milutin Tesla, was a Serbian Orthodox priest and writer, while his mother, Georgina Duca Tesla, though unschooled, possessed an incredible knack for making household tools and mechanical devices skills she passed on to her inquisitive son. From an early age, Tesla exhibited signs of genius. He had an eidetic memory, could memorize books and images in vivid detail, and was able to perform complex mathematical calculations in his mind. These early traits, paired with his vivid imagination and dreamlike visions, made him stand out. As a child, Tesla was fascinated with the invisible forces of nature, lightning, magnetism, and the mysteries of energy. These obsessions deepened when he witnessed his cat macaque produce static electricity on a cold winter night. Tesla asked his father if nature was a gigantic cat and if thunder was it purring. That simple observation marked the birth of a lifelong quest to understand and control energy. Despite his brilliance, his childhood was also scarred by the tragic death of his older brother, Dane, in a horse-riding accident. Tesla blamed himself for Dane's death, and it left an emotional wound that never fully healed. His education began at the Realschule in Karlstad, where he excelled in science and mathematics, often astounding his teachers with his photographic memory and innovative thinking. He later enrolled at the Polytechnic Institute in Graz, Austria, where he became obsessed with the idea of alternating current, an idea that would later revolutionize the world. Tesla's time at the Polytechnic Institute was marked by a passionate dedication to learning, but also by clashes with his professors. He became engrossed in an idea to improve the efficiency of the direct current electric motors used at the time, proposing a system using alternating current instead. Although ridiculed, he believed deeply in his vision. Unfortunately, he never graduated due to a combination of financial hardship and nervous breakdowns, and his life became increasingly tumultuous. He worked as a draftsman and later moved to Prague to study philosophy, though he never earned a degree. Eventually, Tesla found employment in Budapest with the Central Telegraph Office, where he reportedly conceived the principle of the rotating magnetic field, the foundation of the AC motor. This revelation came to him during a walk in the park, accompanied by a friend, as he recited lines from Goethe's Faust. With a stick, he drew a diagram of his vision in the sand, declaring the birth of a new era in electrical engineering. Tesla's ambitions soon took him to Paris, where he worked for the Continental Edison Company. His work impressed his superiors, and in 1884, Tesla emigrated to the United States with little more than a letter of recommendation and a bundle of notes for his inventions. The letter was addressed to Thomas Edison and described Tesla as a man of phenomenal ability. Tesla arrived in New York City with 4 cents in his pocket, but a wealth of ideas in his mind. Tesla's introduction to Edison would become one of the most storied rivalries in scientific history. Hired by Edison to improve the efficiency of direct current generators, Tesla worked tirelessly and successfully completed the task. Edison reportedly promised a substantial reward for the improvements, but when Tesla inquired about it, Edison dismissed the offer as a joke, stating, "You don't understand our American humor." Disillusioned, Tesla left Edison's company and struggled to survive, even digging ditches for a time. Yet, his unshakable belief in his air conditioning system led him to secure backing from investors, and in 1887, he formed the Tesla Electric Company. It was during this time he demonstrated his revolutionary air conditioning motor and power transmission system to the American Institute of Electrical Engineers. His work caught the attention of industrialist George Westinghouse, who saw in Tesla's air conditioning system the future of power distribution. Westinghouse purchased the patents for Tesla's air conditioning motor and transformer and hired Tesla to help develop the system. This partnership sparked the so-called War of Currents, a fierce battle between Edison's direct current system and Tesla's air conditioning technology. Edison, determined to protect his investments in direct current, launched a smear campaign against air conditioning, portraying it as dangerous and deadly. Despite these attacks, Tesla and Westinghouse prevailed. The triumph of air conditioning was sealed in 1893 when the duo won the contract to light the Chicago World's Columbian Exposition, a dazzling demonstration of the power and safety of alternating current. Tesla's fame skyrocketed after the exposition. In 1895, he'd achieved another milestone by building the first large-scale hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls, a marvel that transmitted AC electricity to Buffalo, New York. This achievement was hailed as a major victory for modern engineering and cemented Tesla's status as a pioneer of electricity. However, Tesla was not content with power generation alone. He envisioned a world connected by wireless energy and communication. At his lab in New York City, he conducted experiments in wireless transmission, high-frequency current, and resonant inductive coupling. He developed the Tesla coil, an invention that remains iconic in the study of electromagnetism. His demonstrations, which included lighting bulbs wirelessly and shooting artificial lightning bolts, mesmerized audiences and secured his place as a scientific showman. Yet, Tesla's ambitions extended even further. He envisioned wireless transmission of information and power on a global scale, proposing a system that could deliver free energy to the world. To realize this dream, he began construction of the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island in 1901, with funding from financier J.P. Morgan. However, when Morgan realized Tesla intended to provide free energy, a concept with no opportunity for profit, he withdrew support. The project collapsed, and Tesla was left heartbroken and financially ruined. Despite this setback, Tesla continued to innovate. He developed ideas for bladeless turbines, oscillators, and even a death ray, a directed energy weapon that he claimed could bring an end to warfare. Many of these inventions remained unbuilt, existing only in sketches and notes. His later years were marked by increasing eccentricity. Tesla developed a fondness for pigeons, often feeding them in New York's Bryant Park, and forming a deep emotional bond with a particular white pigeon. He also exhibited symptoms of obsessive-compulsive disorder and developed peculiar routines, including an aversion to pearls and an obsession with the number 3. By the 1930s, Tesla had faded from the public spotlight, living alone in a series of New York hotels, his debts mounting. On his 75th birthday, however, he received a resurgence of attention, including a congratulatory letter from Albert Einstein and a feature in Time magazine. Tesla continued to give interviews in which he predicted futuristic technologies, including radar, robotic automation, and wireless global communication, many of which came true decades later. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He was 86 years old. Though impoverished and largely forgotten by the public at the time of his death, Tesla's legacy would soon rise like the currents he once imagined flowing freely through the earth and sky. In the years that followed his death, Nikola Tesla's contributions were reevaluated and celebrated by generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers who recognized the breadth of his visionary genius. Though he died penniless and relatively unknown to the public, his inventions formed the backbone of the modern electrical world. The alternating current system, he championed power cities across the globe. The rotating magnetic field, wireless transmission theories, remote control concepts, and high-frequency currents he experimented with are now foundational in everything from power grids to radio, X-rays to wireless chargers, robotics to modern communication systems. Yet what truly set Tesla apart was not only the practicality of his work, but the purity of his vision, a world interconnected by energy and thought, free from greed and barriers, unified by science and imagination. The world began to catch up with Tesla's vision in the decades after his passing. Scientists re-examined his patents and notebooks, finding in them the seeds of radar, Wi-Fi, drones, and wireless data transmission. His name, once overshadowed by contemporaries like Edison and Marconi, gradually rose to become a symbol of futuristic brilliance. In 1960, the General Conference on Weights and Measures honored Tesla by naming the SI unit of magnetic flux density the Tesla T, cementing his legacy in the language of physics. Tesla's influence expanded beyond the laboratory and scientific circles into popular culture and modern branding. His character, enigmatic, eccentric, and enigmatic, was a favorite among authors, filmmakers, and futurists who saw in him the archetype of the misunderstood genius. His life has been depicted in numerous films, documentaries, novels, and stage plays. More recently, his name has become synonymous with innovation and disruption, as evidenced by the electric vehicle company Tesla, Incorporated, founded by entrepreneur Elon Musk. The choice of name was a tribute not only to Tesla's revolutionary electric motor technology, but also to his philosophy of clean, limitless energy. This revival of interest sparked a cultural movement of appreciation for Tesla's work. Statues were erected in his honor from Belgrade to New York, and his restored childhood home in Smiljan was transformed into a museum. His laboratory at Wardenclyffe, once abandoned and nearly demolished, was preserved and repurposed as a science center thanks to the global efforts of fans and historians. On social media, Tesla's quotes and photographs circulate widely, accompanied by messages extolling his forgotten genius and the injustices he suffered in life. He has become an icon of the dreamer betrayed by capitalism, the visionary too far ahead of his time. Despite the resurgence of recognition, the true depth of Tesla's genius still eludes full comprehension. His notebooks, many of which were seized by the U.S. government after his death under the Alien Property Custodian due to wartime security concerns, have been partially declassified, but mysteries remain. What exactly was Tesla planning with his final experiments? Was there a real prototype of his so-called Teleforce weapon, later dubbed the Death Ray? Were his visions of wireless global power feasible, or were they the byproducts of a mind too engrossed in fantasy? Scholars and researchers continue to explore these questions. Some view Tesla as a tragic figure whose imagination outpaced the technology of his era. Others regard him as a prophet whose predictions are only now being realized. He once stated, "The present is theirs, the future, for which I really work, is mine." Indeed, the future he imagined of flying machines, wireless communication, artificial intelligence, and limitless clean energy is now being pursued with unprecedented vigor, proving Tesla was more than an inventor. He was a man who dared to see beyond the horizon of possibility. Tesla's life stands as a testament to the power of curiosity, the beauty of independent thought, and the cost of uncompromising idealism. He lived not for wealth or fame, but for the pursuit of truth, for unlocking the secrets of the universe and sharing them with humanity. His ascetic lifestyle, his obsession with patterns and purity, and his constant isolation were not quirks of madness, but signs of a mind immersed in deeper realities. He ate simply, abstained from material indulgence, and never married, believing that his scientific mission required undivided attention. He once said that he could never give his love to a woman, for he had given it entirely to his work. This singular devotion led to monumental discoveries but also condemned him to a life of loneliness and public misunderstanding. Yet, despite his hardships, Tesla never ceased to believe in the potential of humanity. He spoke of tapping the energy of the earth, of illuminating the darkest corners of the globe, of achieving peace through technology. He envisioned a world where energy was free, where machines relieved mankind of toil, and where science elevated the human spirit. Though that world remains unfinished, Tesla's vision lights the path forward like the glow of an incandescent dream refusing to dim. Through every electric light bulb, motor, satellite, and spark of innovation, Nikola Tesla's spirit endures forever, the man who invented the future. Tesla's personal habits and routines were as unique as his inventions. He claimed to sleep only 2 hours a night and often worked for days without rest when inspired by a new idea. He walked precisely 8 miles each day, counted his steps obsessively, and had a particular aversion to germs, refusing to shake hands and insisting on clean utensils. Numbers ruled his world. He had an obsession with the number 3, often walking around a block 3 times before entering a building. These behaviors have led modern psychologists to speculate he may have exhibited signs of obsessive-compulsive disorder, though his contemporaries simply saw him as eccentric. Tesla believed that his celibacy sharpened his intellect, and he never pursued romantic relationships, stating that love distracted from his work. Nikola Tesla died on January 7, 1943, at the age of 86. At the time of his death, Tesla was living alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel in New York City. He had been residing there for about a decade, largely in isolation, surviving on a modest pension and support from a few loyal admirers and friends, including some funds provided by the Yugoslav government in recognition of his Serbian heritage. Nikola Tesla wasn't just a scientist, he was a prophet of technology, a dreamer whose visions now shape our modern lives. From lighting up cities to imagining a world connected without wires, his legacy is still unfolding in the devices we use every day. If his story inspired you, imagine the other great minds and untold tales we'll be exploring next. So stay curious, stay inspired, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories that bring history's greatest minds back to life.